Hello, welcome to another beautiful video. There might be some sound issues again, but different types, hopefully, because I cleaned up my drive, my computer drive. The fan on this computer is really loud. I tried turning it off for a few minutes, but whatever. Also, I moved into my room instead of the office because my bird is being really loud right now, which is fine. He's just talking about random things. So I'm in a different place. I actually looked at what the time is for the how long it took me to draw everything in this one, and it was like 6 hours and 30 minutes over a couple of days, which is funny because I think 2 days ago I don't know how long it took for me to do that drawing, but I did a really another drawing I'm gonna do a speed paint on that took me, I don't think as much time, but was more complicated. I finished it in a day, maybe it was less time. Anyway, let's actually talk about what you see here. So, I restarted my Animal Crossing village, and I've always wanted to draw Tom Nook, Timmy, and Tommy as humans. I honestly don't know how old Timmy and Tommy are, but here I drew them as kids, because they seem like kids. I change up their pose a lot here. I'm not really happy about a lot of stuff that happened in the speed paint. I eventually make them not standing behind him, because I liked how it looked if they were both like a bit behind him, but I couldn't make it look good, and I had a lot of problems with drawing their faces and poses. It just wasn't going well. Anyway, this is my third time restarting my island. It was... the first one I did was when it first came out, and I named it Fibber, because Fibber Island, the My Be Giant song. And then the second one I did, I named Jabberwock Island from Danganronpa 2, the best Danganronpa game. And, oh, a cat's meowing. That's great. They're fine. Which I try to make the island look like Jabberwock Island in Danganronpa 2 and Animal Crossing, but that didn't work well. The problem with doing this in my room, though, is my cat Satine wants to be in my room all the time or out of my room all the time, and so she wants my door open. So that's fun. Anyway, where was I? Yes, I made this whole, I think I took some pictures of it on my Switch. I'll show it up on the screen, but I made this whole design of grapes and then some of strawberries, and I had to name it Grap because it censored the rape part of grape in Animal Crossing, and it's like, you can't name a design grape, and I just think that's incredibly stupid. It was really funny, though. And I had, boards, and I put them on the walls of the islands, and I was planning on moving villagers and then designing their houses to look like the rooms from the game, but it was just a lot, and it just never looked good. So then I decided to do Fibber 2.0 because I still like the They Might Be Giants thing. I'm really proud of it so far. I'm gonna do kind of the typical RPG thing of where it's like a small town surrounded by a magical, mystical forest. Right now I'm working on moving on all the villagers. I've been trying not to time travel, but I have been. It's just, my ADHD is like, okay, you finished everything you need to do today, let's time travel to the next day, because, instead of having my mind be like, oh, this should be a break, if that makes sense. Instead of my mind taking it as, oh, I finished everything I can do today, so let's stop playing this and do something else. My brain's like, oh, I finished everything I can do today, let's time travel to tomorrow, because I can't wait to do more things. So yeah, that's fun. Let's see. Hi Satine, my cat just jumped up onto my bed. She's such a sweetie. I love her so much. Here's me doing the lining of the drawing. I had such a hard time. I've been switching between either a rougher pen and a softer pen, if that makes sense. It has tooth to it. This one does. But sometimes because I like the look, I'm still trying to figure out what I want with my digital art, so I've been doing different types of brushes and stuff. The last one, I think I did the round one. I was trying so hard to make it look good. I honestly, Tom Nook didn't he turned out pretty good the first time inking him. I made him look, he's not exactly how I want him to be, but I learned this thing with hands. If you add, like, at the end of the finger a little, like, notch, if that make, like, I don't know how to explain it, but if you look at his hands, they have little notches at the end of where the fingers meet the back of the palm, and if you do that, then it kind of makes it look better. Here's me trying to figure out how to do the leaf on Tom Nook. Yeah. See, I want to maybe do more scripted stuff. I don't know. I've been enjoying making more recent, more consistent videos because I'm not really doing anything right now. And that would be a fun thing to do. Yeah, here's me fixing up his liner and trying to make everything look good. Because I want art to be the thing that I can do. I want to make it a career. I enjoy doing it, and I want to see if I can set up a Fiverr account, to get more commissions. So if you're interested, let me know. I've been working on some animations, but they are taking a while. I don't know if I talked about this, but I will again. If I didn't. I made this Danganronpa 3 animatic for Kaito and Kokichi with their whole story, and I planned it out. It's for the main character by Will Wood. Also, talking about the drawing real quick, these faces and these poses, like, go away. Like, I like their face, but, yeah, I think... Anyway, Will Wood, for I'm the main character, and I'm like halfway done with it, but now I figured out scripting the animatics, like taking all the lyrics and then making them into putting them into a Google Doc and then adding the general idea what I want for the animatic helps a lot. So I did that with that one, and then I went back and did an old one that I'm working on currently more than the other one because I'm more in an Ace Attorney mood. Is the one thing from 36 Questions with Phoenix and Iris, which I'm pretty proud of that one. I've been working on that one a lot recently. I'm like a fourth of the way done. No, I'm like not a fourth, but like 3/4 of the way done. I took math. Yeah, I've been obsessively playing Animal Crossing. I love it so much. There's a lot of stuff that could be better, but honestly, this time around, I have been enjoying talking to my villagers a lot. Like, I've been talking to them, like, almost every day, which the other islands I really didn't do, but I have been having a lot more fun with that. Let's see, anything else Animal Crossing I can talk about? Yeah, I've played it since the GameCube one. I used to think my uncle loved Animal Crossing, but he didn't. I think he's the one who got it for us, something like that. Anyway, he had his own island, and every time he'd come over, I'm like, hey, you should play Animal Crossing. I had this island, and I shared it with my sister, and then my uncle, which was funny. I used to just run around doing stuff, playing Animal Crossing, and then I think the next one I got was City Folk on the Wii, and I played that so much. Again, I had the same island as not island, it wouldn't be island in that game, city, town, with my sister, and we would run around, we would yeah, it's, the one I have the most memories of it with is New Leaf on the DS. I never got Wild World, and I got Happy Home Designer, like, right before I got New Horizons. But about City Folk real quick, I remember being able to travel outside of your town to the city part was, like, amazing. Like, we didn't have any friends who played it, so we couldn't really use the multi-feature. We were, like, in elementary school at this time. And then with New Leaf, I remember Ivy and I had separate games this time, and we had 2 different Switches. Not Switches, DS's. And we both had different islands. I would restart that one a whole bunch. When I was little, I was obsessed with the beginnings of games, and then I'd get bored of them, and then I would do a beginning of a different game, and then I'd go back to that game, and then replay the beginning of that game. And with Animal Crossing, I just kept restarting my town, kind of like I have been doing now. But I'm actually really proud of the island I'm working on right now. I remember I planted a bamboo on my sister's island, and, oh yeah, right here in the line art, just so you know what's happening, I accidentally made all of those guys on the same layer, and with Critter, I don't know how to copy and paste only the selected area, so I just copied the layer 3 times, and then I erased the other people so they'd be on different layers. Yeah. Anyway, if you hear purring, that's my cat. Sorry about that. What was I saying? About the Animal Crossing on the DS. Yes, I planted a bamboo. I think it was on my sister's island or mine, but I remember planting a bamboo plant, and then we didn't play for like a year, and then we played again, and the island was infested with the bamboo, and we just were having the hardest time cleaning it up, and it was such a big mistake. It was really funny, though. I remember thinking, before the internet, my sister was, like, the smartest person with games. Like, she would be like, oh, there's this feature of the game, and then I was like the bartending, not the bartend, yeah, in New Leaf with, Brewster making coffee or whatever, and then, like, I would figure it out when she told me about it, and it used to be like that forever until I got a little bit after I got my DS, I started playing, I started watching YouTube on my DSs along with Netflix, but I would watch YouTube on my DS. It was originally like kids shorts, what is it called? There was this YouTube channel that used to kids, retold stories that their parents told them about their life, and then the parents would act it out, and it was hilarious. I used to watch that a lot. And then tutorials, walkthroughs of games I was playing on my DS. And then I would watch it, and that's actually where I found the first YouTuber I ever, actually watched, Peanut Butter Gamer. I used to watch him all the time. Actually, this was in elementary school around probably the last year. I remember me and one of my friends would talk about his videos, as well as Futurama, which is a show I still can't believe my parents let me watch when I was in elementary school. That show was wild, but that show, and then, yeah, Futurama, Strong Bad, and VeggieTales were my humor, and still are my humor. VeggieTales is amazing, by the way. I've redesigned some of the characters as humans, and I want to animate some of the songs. And so, the first time I remember watching YouTube, or even knowing what it was I went to my friend's house in elementary school. I used to go to our house every morning because we lived decently far away from my school, because my sister got into the magnet program, which is for all the smart kids, and I'm dyslexic. And they said that I would have made it in if I wasn't dyslexic, so I was pretty salty about that. Anyway, I went to her house every morning because my dad had to go to work, and so he dropped me off early so that he could make it to work on time. And she would show me videos on YouTube in the morning, or like music videos or something. So that's like my first actual recollection of YouTube being an actual thing. And then after I got my DS, then I would watch YouTube all the time, mostly Peanut Butter Gamer. I'd watch like his same like 5 videos over and over again, like to go to sleep. Because I still have to watch a video to go to sleep. Usually just like Reddit videos or something, because it's like something I can just put in the background. I also used to watch Futurama on my DS to go to sleep. Because I watched it so much. You play any clip from that show and I'll know what episode it is. It's insane. Yeah, I would watch that, and then eventually I got a phone, I think around 12-ish, 12, 13, and then I think around then is when I started getting into Undertale. That story is actually really funny, because my best friend, her sister was over hanging out with my sister, and she was playing Undertale. She was playing Undertale, and I saw it, and it was one of the scenes with Sans and Papyrus, and I was perplexed. I was amazed, so I begged my mom to buy it for me on Steam, and then I, played it all the way through, and then I watched a bunch of Let's Players play it, and then I saw beautiful art. I don't think I was on Tumblr quite yet. I think I was on Pinterest around this time. I was on Pinterest and then I was on Tumblr, but and then I saw this art, this beautiful art, and I was like, I want to be able to draw these characters that I love so much, that mean so much to me. And so then I started drawing, and that's how I started drawing. I mean, I remember in elementary school I've always wanted to draw, and there was this girl who was really, really good at drawing. I'm pretty sure I had a crush on her, and we would have these auctions in class that we would get money from doing stuff in class, and then we, every Saturday or something, we would bring an item to auction off to other students using that money, and she would always sell her drawings, and, I remember them being amazing. I don't remember, they probably were really good for her age. I don't remember anything about those drawings, but I remember being, infatuated by them, but I didn't really have the resources to start learning how to draw. So once I got the internet, I really started watching tutorials and looking at reference photos and stuff, which was really nice having that source, because I'm the sort of person who I'm afraid of doing things wrong. There's a certain way to do things, and if I don't do them correctly, people will be mad at me, which isn't true, but that's how I've always thought of things. I was always so terrified of doing things wrong. I'm trying to get better at that. But yeah, it's a fun journey, and now I'm here trying to... It's just crazy thinking back at all this stuff. Yeah, I think I re-ink these guys one more time after this. Maybe. Or maybe this is the last time. No, it's not. I go into coloring after this. But there was a lot of trouble with this piece. I liked it in concept, but I was just having such a hard time. And I finally was okay with it. And was like, I guess I'll start coloring it. I'm using this technique that I've done a few times, but with shading. But I was like, I'll try it here, where I color in everything a certain color, and then use a clipping mask, and then color all the colors on top of that so it doesn't go out of the lines. But I just found out that there was so many parts I missed with coloring it in initially that it was just too much of a hassle. So eventually I started doing some parts on the original layer, which, whatever. But I learned I only like that method during shading, because that means when I have the original color down and I'm shading, I don't have to worry about going off, because shading is more freeform, I guess. Yeah, I guess just enjoy. I'll probably have some music. I don't really like watching speed paints without commentary, but I don't really know what to say right now. Okay, let's talk about Animal Crossing some more. My favorite villager, I think, is Mitzi and Raymond, of course. All the cat ones, honestly. I really like, what's his name? I have a plush of him, and I have a drawing I printed out in my GTI class. What is his name? Rover? Is that his name? The guy with the red and black checkered shirt that actually can't be in your village, but like was the person to introduce you to the game in like the original ones, and would sit on the bus with you in City Folk. That one. And then I love the little axolotl guy. He's not in New Horizons, right? I don't remember him being in that one, which is really sad. Shrank, I think his name is. I love him so much. You used to be able to get reactions. That's how you learned how to do those. A set of villagers just randomly telling them to you. You'd have to go and watch one of his stand-up performances, and then you'd learn a reaction, which I really liked that aspect of it. Oh yeah, so there's this villager, Jambette. She's a frog with really big lips. She's in my New Leaf town, and I hated her so much, especially because she's kind of ugly. But then I was making this huge flower garden, and then she decided to move in right on top of that, and so I thought I was really mad at her and wanted her to leave. But now I'm like, I kind of want her in my new village, because it's like, I hated her, but at the same time I just thought it was fun to have a village that I hated, but like funny hated, not hated just like they're ugly, I don't like them, but like have like an active rivalry. It's fun to hate on things sometimes, but like in a fun way. You know, I don't understand people who go up to people who say they like something and say, oh, that thing is bad, unless it's like an actively harmful thing, you know? Like if it's just a dumb thing and they're just like, oh, that's bad, and I know you like that and I won't argue with you. That being said, I think there's nothing wrong with criticizing things that you find problematic, even in front of those people, but being like, I understand your point of view, and like make a discussion more than an argument. I was talking to my friend about the animation industry and how the only good Illumination movie the only one I find has an actual meaningful like plot and characters and like message is the first Despicable Me movie. Like all the other ones are just lazy, and that makes me sad. This was when we were watching the Puss in Boots movie, and a movie that's really good, and reminded me, oh yeah, there can be good kids media. Like all the media I like, most of it is kid stuff, but like big picture movies in the theater can be good for kids. It's a really good movie, but that's why I'm so afraid and also excited for the Mario movie. The concepts could be so good, but also I'm scared because it's Illumination. It could either go, I think my other friend I was talking to about this, we were like, okay, it can either go in the way as Chris Pratt as Mario, or the better side of the spectrum is Jack Black as Bowser. Like, those are the two sides of the spectrum that, like, it could be either really good or really bad, and I'm scared. I like... talking about Mario's voice real quick, it's so weird because I like how they did, like, Toad's voice, for example, because you can still hear the character's voice, like... the voice is inspired after Toad's voice, but they toned it down for a movie because it would be annoying to have to listen to this voice for however long. And so you can still hear it. But with Mario's voice, it's just Chris Pratt. It's just a guy. Like, I like him as Emmett in the Lego movie because he is just... The point of that character is he is just a guy. But Mario, he's not. So it's interesting. I'm excited to see it. If nothing else, it will either be a train wreck or not, and I'm hoping it's not boring. Because it could just be boring, and that would be sad. Because that would mean... Because if things are really bad, usually either they are trying to be really bad, or they put a lot of passion into it, but it just didn't work out. I think things that are really bad are just the boring things. Nothing can be really bad if there's actual people behind it who care about it. Because you can see that. Even if there's stuff in it that's not great, or there's some things that don't make sense, if you can see the passion in it, then it's like... It's cool. It has thought. But I'm afraid since Illumination's making it, it's going to be another Minion movie. I'm really sad what happened to the Despicable Me franchise, because I loved the first one as a child. I haven't watched it in a while, but I remember loving that one so much, especially the trope of old grumpy dude has to adopt children. It's the best trope. So, it was a pretty good movie, and then they just took the Minions, which was an okay part of it, and then just made them their own annoying thing. It's fine if you enjoy it, but it's just sad that it's not better. I feel like kids deserve movies like Puss in Boots. They do. Like, kids aren't stupid. They deserve things that will make them think and have imaginations, you know? It's just something that means a lot to me, I guess, the kids animation. Like, people are like, oh, it's fine, it's just for kids. And I'm like, yeah, that's the point. It's for kids. It should make them think. It should have things for adults, because you should treat kids like adults. Kids are adults with less experience. And it's just sad seeing movies that are just turned out by big corporations just for money, because they know people will go see it. Yeah, anyway, that kind of reminds me, I remember hearing, I'm not sure if it's true, but hearing that Timmy and Tommy actually aren't related to Tom Nook, and he did, like, just take them in, which also, the amazing trope I was talking about earlier, if true, I need to look it up. At the end of this drawing, I'm pretty proud of it. There's lots of things I could make better, but I didn't want to spend any more time on it. There's my rant. I hope you liked it. I guess the rest of this video, you can just enjoy the music. I'll probably just put Animal Crossing music, but I don't feel like talking anymore, and I don't know what to talk about. I should probably script these things, but I hate scripting things. But maybe I can, because I hated writing and stuff because of school, because I was always afraid I wasn't doing it the right way. Maybe that's where I got that fear from, because if I don't do something the right way, then I won't get a good grade, but that's not really a thing here, so maybe I can do that. I've been working on a fan fiction recently, and that's been helping me, along with just reading in general. Alright, well, thanks for watching this far, and I hope you enjoy it. I'll be back soon with another speed paint of a drawing that I think I could talk about more stuff with, because it's about the Somnium Files. I have so many opinions about that. Alright, well, enjoy. See you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.